Yeah.
Nice.
Here's
to the red, white, and blue.
Here's a Krabby coffee shop tip for y'all. Sorry about that, Joe.
Let's stick to underwater. We're learning now, of course, that the crew of the Titan is gone. They're not going to be coming back. Apparently, there are no bodies to recover. And James Cameron, the movie director, who's fascinated by the depths of the sea, he's wondering, and I think it's a legitimate thing to wonder, he's wondering why this charade took place of pretending to look for them when the Navy admits they heard it go to pieces the first day.
Oh.
Yeah, Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, this is new news to me. I didn't know this. Oh, wow.
Maybe they prolonged the news to, I don't know, cover up for other big news.
So what was the clanking we thought we heard as late as, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Cameron told the BBC in an interview broadcast today that he felt in his bones that the Titan submersible had been lost soon after he heard it had lost contact with the surface during its descent to the wreckage. He said focus in the media over the next few days about the submersive having 96 hours of oxygen supply and that banging noises had been heard were a prolonged and nightmarish charade. That was just a cruel, slow turn of the screw for 4 days, as far as I'm concerned, he said, because I knew the truth on Monday morning. And apparently he has the bona fides to make these claims. The Titan launched at 6 a.m. Sunday and was reported overdue that afternoon. On Thursday, U.S. Coast Guard said debris had been found. Well, we know all that. 5 people aboard are gone. They died when the vessel imploded. Cameron has made more than 30 dives to the wreckage of the Titanic. He said he knew an extreme catastrophic event had happened as soon as he heard the submersible had lost navigation and communications during its descent. For the sub's electronics to fail and its communication system to fail and its tracking transponder to fail simultaneously, sub's gone, he told the British broadcaster. For me, there was no doubt. I knew the sub was sitting exactly underneath its last known depth and position, and that's exactly where they found it. There was no search. When they finally got an ROV down there, a remote vehicle, that could make that depth, they found it within hours, probably within minutes. Okay, so he said this is one of the saddest aspects of how preventable this really was. We now have another wreck that is based on, unfortunately, the same principles of not heeding warnings. Okay, so as we said yesterday, people do stuff. They try to accomplish things.
Right.
And I just, for my personal taste, having been around a boat or two, but never certainly been underwater, I would have looked at that thing and said, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
I'm not getting in that thing. And, but that same vessel had made successful dives.
So it would have passed the initial Souchere test. Because you ain't going on the first one.
No, I'm not. I was never going to go on that one. I'm never going. I can't afford it. I'm waiting for the day when, like I said yesterday.
No, correct yourself. Money has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I don't have
We're not going.
I'm not going.
Yeah, we're not going.
Yeah. The guy the Red Bull guy that jumped to Earth and set a record.
Sure.
Refresh my memory.
I'll look it up.
Well, he was launched into space on a rocket, correct?
Yes.
Well, check this out. You mean to tell me that the rocket just paused while he stood on the platform?
How did he get out?
What happened there? I'm forgetting that part of the story.
Wasn't he in a balloon?
I
thought he was in a balloon.
Oh, I think John's right.
Okay, check this out.
Because if you were in a rocket, you open the door, poof, you get sucked out.
You're
right
gone.
away. Yeah.
How did the balloon pause at a certain height?
Felix Baumgartner. 128,000 feet.
Wow.
What is that? Give that to me in miles.
Well, just divide it by 5 and you get your mile.
5? Why 5?
Well, there's 5,000 feet in a mile,
5,000,
5,200 feet in a mile.
All right, how high was the skydive? 24 8.2 miles in the
Okay,
air.
but he rises up there in a balloon, right?
Yep.
And then how do the balloons stop?
I believe the balloon kept going, right? Because the balloon.
Oh, he had to jump off something.
I
He
understand
didn't
that.
just stand there in space.
But the balloon got to a certain height. Then he jumped off of it. And then the balloon just kept going.
Huh.
Right? That's the way I thought
guess.
I understood it.
I guess.
All right. Damn it. Now I'm going to go.
More space junk.
Now there's a
Here
balloon.
we go. 15 minutes after the egress checks began, the pressure between the caps on the outside stabilized and the door opened. One of the last items was for Baumgartner to enable his suit cameras. He dove forward off the ledge. After 42 seconds of descent, Baumgartner reached his maximum velocity. Holy crap, 834 miles per hour.
Oh, shut your mouth.
This is the Wikipedia page.
Wow.
How did he not disintegrate?
Did he haul him around in a wheelbarrow when he got to land?
Oh,
An
my
uncontrolled spin started. Oh my God.
But they planned for that. They knew there would be a spin.
An uncontrolled spin started within the first minute of the jump, which could have been fatal, but it ended at 1:23 when Baumgartner regained stability.
Right.
Though in a later press conference, he likened the fall in the suit to swimming without feeling the water, as he could not feel the air to give him a sense of direction. Baumgartner had an abort switch that would have allowed deployment of a drogue parachute?
Yeah.
Which would have arrested the spin, but also would have prevented him from breaking any speed records.
So the record he was establishing was a speed record or a height record?
I thought it was a distance.
Or maybe both.
Wow.
The balloon was the size of 33 football fields.
Or 15,000 boxes of extra size paper clips in an Olympic style
You know
swimming
your
pool.
mayor well, Johnny.
Oh, check this out.
Okay, here we go, Joe. I think I got your answer. There are scientific benefits listed on the Wikipedia page. There were many unknowns about what would happen with Baumgartner and when he jumped, the biggest of which was what breaking the sound barrier would do to his body.
That's what I'm wondering.
Gathered information on the feasibility of high-altitude bailouts will be useful to the budding commercial space flight industry, Jonathan Clark, medical expert, said of the project.
Hey, here's what I would
Okay,
do.
I have a really stupid question.
Mine might be dumber. But
No,
you go
there's no
ahead.
way, Mike. There's no way. This is the dumbest question. Didn't it hurt his eardrums?
Well, my question would be, why don't... Oh, by the way, CNN today, in talking about the loss of this of the submarine, they were referring to the submersible community.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
No.
Oh, there's a submersible.
Are they
community.
marginalized?
It depends if they have any LGBTQ members.
Got it.
But there's a submersible community. In any event, what was I going to say? Oh,
You can ask a question.
if I was going to design another craft, I want it made out of whatever Felix was wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever Felix was wearing apparently saved his body from being tattered asunder.
There is a photo associated with it, the craft that was below the balloon, and it's just a tiny vessel that he jumped out of.
That's the thing he stood on.
And I guarantee it just kept going.
That balloon paused
Right.
there. They'd have no oxygen.
Do
Now
you
tell
guys-
me this. Can you find from your reading, this could be problematic, what is he up to now? Did
can
this
look that up.
affect his life?
It doesn't matter what he's up to now. You know, it's just to him a letdown. Everything after that.
But he can't be working the state fair
Is-
circuit for $50. What
Well, I
happened
mean,
to him?
how just everything is just disappointing after you experience. That's what killed Meriwether Lewis, Joe. He
Well-
did this big trip to the Pacific. He came back, and it's like,
Okay, now
everything
you're
sucks.
on to something interesting. However, accidentally that happened.
Oh, you always have to be hurtful.
Good shot.
Psychologists are weighing in because really no angle of this deep sea dive has been left uncovered. Psychologists are weighing in that rich people do this because everything else in life has become mundane.
Well,
You know, once you have $1 billion, you really better have a hell of a lot of hobbies to stay busy.
at one point, and I'm not going to tell you the exact figure, I went really, really, really fast on a motorcycle. Really fast.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I couldn't care less about going faster than, I don't know, 90. Now I just use speed to get me there. Couldn't care less.
Fastest I ever went on a motorcycle was probably 90,
Well, I did.
maybe 85. And that was enough. When
Are
they
you
start
seeing-
shaking, I think you're going fast enough.
You looking at me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the jump took place, or was initially supposed to take place October 9th of 2012, but later had to be rescheduled due to weather on October 14th, 2012. Since then, what's his name? Madison? Felix Baumgartner. No, Madison's the pitcher. He has been convicted of battery.
No.
Yeah, he also stirred up the pot
Really?
with controversial comments about refugees.
Really?
Then he also took shots at the Hungarian prime minister. He did date Playboy German playmate of the century, Jida Sachs.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, they broke up though, Joe, in
Sure.
2013.
Oh.
He has since been in a relationship, but nothing of note that I can see. on his
You know what?
Wikipedia
Maybe
page.
he became addled.
Well,
Yeah.
the battery thing was an argument with the truck driver. He slapped him in the face. So that's, I mean,
Oh.
that could happen to anybody.
It's
Come
every
on.
day. It's you.
Come on.
That's you don't have to jump off a rocket to do
If I was
that.
in the studio, I'd be slapping you guys all day.
Yeah,
right.
every one of us slapped
But with
rookie
the
at one
chicks,
time or
maybe
the
his
other.
brain became addled. Maybe the neurons got all screwed up.
He's just put upon. He's got no time for us mere mortals.
Well, social media is being revealed for the nightmarish, foul, despicable environment it is regarding the deaths of these five guys and the people taking great glee and not caring that they died and pointing out that they deserved it and whatnot. I'm going to stick to yesterday. They thought they were adventurous. They're very rich. They got to find something to do. Bing, bang, boom.
I did see one comedian put out on Twitter, "This is the worst thing to happen to subs since Jared." And that one got me pretty good.
Is it okay to make jokes? That's my question. Because the people I follow on my Krabby account and
Was
Twitter,
Jared the fat guy that became
Yeah.
thin eating Subway?
right.
He also got in a little
Out of prison.
legal
Yeah.
They're
trouble.
making like one gal. She tweeted this picture. It's a really old game machine thing. And wait a minute, let me read.
It's
It's a really
1970s Atari.
right. It said, "This is my setup. Who's coming to the moon with me?" And I'm sorry, but that makes me laugh.
Is it,
It
too
is.
soon?
I'm not going to make jokes.
Right.
Although,
But if you did,
but if I did, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
We missed